Hey guys, I'm back and I'm going to do the second part of the makeup for beginners, and this video is to explain to you about the brushes which I use and how I would use them, a bit about obviously the brushes themselves. So yeah, let's start. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the foundation brush. Now you can get several types of foundation brushes, and they're designed to give like kind of a flawless finish. You can get these ones, so you can get the pointed foundation brush which looks like that, and this is the MAC 190 brush. So with this one you would apply the foundation sparingly over the face. Like I would personally put a dab there, my nose, my chin, and maybe a little bit on my cheeks. And what I would do with this one, I would kind of bring it back and forth really quickly so you can actually blend it into the skin, so it gives that flawless finish look. So that's really good for that one, but you might find that you might be using a bit more product than if you were using the rounded ones. I found I was using a lot more product, or foundation even, when using this brush compared to when I was using rounded brushes. So I'm using these ones at the moment and I really like them. So I'm using the Reels Technique buffing brush, and as I say, you would apply it to the face and then in circular motions you would blend it around the face, buffing it in, so that also gives you a really nice flawless finish. Now with the foundation brushes, I find that if you kind of put them underwater, well this one anyway, put it underwater, squeeze it, and then apply it, it does give much more of a even distribution to your face, which looks really nice on the effect. So they are the foundation brushes which I've been using, so that's how I apply using them. I'm going to move on to the concealer brush, which is like that. And this is basically, a concealer brush is to help obviously those troublesome problem areas, as so to speak, or kind of blemishes or spots that you're finding really hard to obviously cover, and you need obviously a bit more of a smaller brush to kind of get into those bits, so you can buff into it to kind of cover it with a concealer. So I use this one. Now I must say now guys, okay, that when you come to brushes, a lot of the brushes may say different information on the brushes. Like this one says a deluxe crease brush, but I personally like using it for concealer. Now everyone may be different. I think once you've kind of mastered and the brushes and makeup, and you're feeling a lot more kind of creative, or even, what's the word, creative, or ready to kind of, you know, learn and practice yourself and experiment even, maybe that's the word, experiment with brushes yourself, you can do also the same thing. Because I'm not being funny, but I'm sure a lot of people don't use what these brushes are actually meant to be for. They probably use them for different things. I'm not the only one, I'm surely. But yeah, so I use that for a concealer brush, so I find it does the job perfectly, so I'm really happy with that one. And so yeah, that is a concealer brush. We're then going to go on to a duo fibre brush which looks like this, and this is the MAC 187 brush. So it's lovely. These are made out of synthetic hair or goat's hair. Now these obviously are great for blending, buffing, can be used for powders, bronzers, blushes, you name it. They provide lightweight and a buildable coverage, and you know, they're really good to blend. And I mean, I think they're great because in the past I've had a brush and you put it in like a pressed powder or even a loose powder, and with previous brushes they've put that so much product has gone on, so much product has gone to the end of the bristles. So then when you apply it to the face, so much product comes off onto, whereas this one, minimal product goes onto it. So you can build up with it so you don't look like Coco the Clown. That's really good about the Duo Fiber, so I'm really liking that, and I use that personally for blush. So yeah. Now if you wanted to use highlighter, you can use a brush. I don't use this brush, but you can have a brush which looks like a fan on the end of it, and that can help you obviously doing the cheekbones, obviously above your eye bone, your brow bone, even your nose, or because you can have it, just makes it easier. I mean, but I personally like to use the MAC 160 brush, and I find if I just dab it on the blush and I put it down the nose or wherever, I just prefer this brush for highlighter. So yeah, that's perfect for that one. I use the Reels Technique setting powder. It's really soft. It's a smaller brush because when I do my setting powder, once I've applied the foundation and everything and I want to just kind of set the look, this is a smaller brush which gets in just underneath your eye, which makes it so much easier to get in, rather than using a big brush if you're putting a load of like powder on. So yeah, that's if you just want to set certain areas, so you might need a smaller powder brush. So that's perfect for those kind of areas. I was talking to you about the setting brush. Now if you wanted to put a big large amount of powder on, you would want to use something preferably like this, and this one is the Real Techniques blush brush, but I use it for powder, bronzer or blush, it depends. But as I say, this one's more my powder brush, and it's got large bristles, and it's rounded at the top, which makes it easier. So what I would do is I would dab it into the pressed powder or loose powder. I would then tap it off to get the excess powder off it, and then apply it to the face. So then obviously not too much product has come out, because whereas this one, it holds quite a lot of product, so you need to kind of tap it to get the excess off. But other than that, that's really, really good. So yeah, that's for the powder. Now for the eyeshadows and the eyes, I use a couple of brushes actually, and I use the blending brush, which obviously blends in the eyeshadow colours, which makes them less harsh and more kind of subtle on the eye, and that looks like so, which looks like that. That is the blending brush, and that is in the MAC 217 brush. I also have it in the Sigma range, which are really, really good range of brushes, and that is an E25 brush. They look very similar actually. I think Sigma are slightly cheaper to MAC, but just as good. So yeah, really impressed. So that is obviously, if I've just put my eye colour on the eyelids, I would then use that to kind of blend it into, like I say, make it less harsh and, you know, much more subtle, so it looks nice. Now in order to apply the eyeshadow, I use the MAC 239 brush, which looks like so. I know, rather dirty. I do need to clean my brushes, and I will tell you about a new product which I just bought recently, which helps clean your brushes, which is out of this world. I mean, amazing. So yeah, I'll tell you that at the end. So that is what I apply my eyeshadow on, and you just literally apply it all over, and that's where you'd get your blending brush, and you'd blend it all out, going back and forth until you're happy with the look. And yeah, so that's the blending and the base of it. I then use the angled brush which can be obviously used for lash line or even for brows. Now I have that one, and this is the Sigma E75 brush, and it looks like that. Now I use this more so for my eyebrows because if you can see, you get the tip and it helps go in, and then you've got the other side which is much more narrower, which helps you do the side of the brow, which makes it so much easier when it comes to doing your eyebrows, which is really good. So yeah, I use that one. Now you can use it for your lash line, or if you wanted to get into those little areas for eyeliner, or however you want to use it, but I prefer that for my eyebrows. And if I wanted to do my eyeliner, I would use, there we go, I would use maybe the Sigma Pencil E30 to kind of draw eyeliner on to get into those areas like so. Or even I would use the Sigma E20 short shader to do underneath. So yeah, they're the brushes I would use for my eyes, which are really, really good. So yeah, other than that, I'm now going to tell you about, I hope those brushes and that information has helped you in what you are looking for. And if there's any other questions you want to ask me, please feel free to leave a comment down below and I will reply. Now, looking after brushes, now I use the Reels Technique cleansing gel, which is the best. I mean, I've used quite a few cleansing gels or, you know, makeup brush cleaners, and I mean, they've been good, but there's been a lot of hassle on how to use them, or they've just been a solution where you've got to kind of mix them with water, and it's just, yeah, like I say, a bit of a chaos. So I came across this when I was shopping the other day, and I thought I'd give it a go. And a couple of weeks ago, even not the other day, a couple of weeks ago, sorry, and I bought I don't know if any of you guys have heard of this, but the Sigma Matte, which is also a new product which helps clean your brushes, which looks like this. So if you can see, it's got all different effects on the mat, which helps your bristles get into it to clean them properly. So what I do is I would use a bit of the gel, I put it on the mat, and with like not too hot but like obviously warm enough, I would then swirl the brushes around to all the different parts. And I'm not joking, guys, when I did this a couple of days ago, my brushes were like brand new. They were white as in white. They were amazing, and I could not believe it. So if you really want to invest in a good product which is going to help you guys clean your brushes and save you a hell of a lot of time, I would definitely recommend getting the Sigma Mattes, which is fantastic, really is. So if you want to see a video on washing the brushes before you buy it, because I know they're quite dear, I think they retail price is at $29.99 or something. I'll leave a link below where I got mine. I got mine from the Sigma website. So yeah, they're quite dear, but I think if you have brushes and you apply makeup every day, and you want to wash them without any hassle and save yourself a lot of time, then it's definitely a product you need to kind of look into getting. I do hope this video has come at help, as I say, and I look forward to hearing your comments, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video, guys. Thank you. Bye.